I want to finish by talking about my vision for a Senate term if we won. And I think that that's really important because there's a lot of people who are saying, well, I'm scared, I'm worried. I don't like the direction the country's going in. I think that this government doesn't deserve to be re-elected. And I don't think that the Liberals are going to do much better. But I'm worried that if I vote for a minor party like the Libertarians, that I'll be wasting my vote. And that's a natural concern. That's a concern I understand. It's also a concern that the major parties will seize on and will use to try to make excuses for the fact that they've done a terrible job and to try to frighten people into supporting them. But what I want to do and what I want to finish on today is I want to lay out my vision. I want to tell you what a Libertarian Senate term could look like and the difference it could make and where we could be sitting in 5 to 6 years compared to where we are now. If I'm elected, on day one of my election being confirmed, I will be treating that as day one of the 2028 federal election campaign, where I will not be up for re-election, where we will be seeking to have more Freedom Minor Party senators and more Libertarian senators elected all around the country. That work has to begin immediately. The work of building a movement like we see in America that Trump was able to build pre-2016 and to be re-elected, the work that the Reform Party has had to do in the UK, we see the outcomes. We see the final result of those efforts, but we don't see the hard work, the grind, the unsexy stuff that went on in the background. And we need to start investing in that. Not tomorrow, not in a year, not in 2 years and hope to see change. We need to start investing in candidates and in political parties who have genuine vision, who are prepared to do the hard work in between elections. We won't be disappearing and just withering on the vine and melting like the summer snows after the election. We will be using that momentum, using that platform to campaign for lower house candidates, to campaign for our ideas, momentum, to be a genuine alternative. We have an opposition in Australia at the moment, in the Liberals, who oppose, as the name suggests, but I think that they should be providing an alternative vision. We shouldn't have an opposition leader, we should have an alternative leader. There are many instances where the Liberals could have made positive change if they had have thought about things that way and if they were prepared to actually put the interests of Australia first instead of the interests of foreign conflicts, instead of the interests of a globalist agenda, and instead of trying to score political points in some sort of tribal football game against the Labor Party. That's why I left the Liberal Party, because I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in moving the ball forward today. I'm interested in a better future for all Australians. So if I'm elected, the work to build that movement, to win lower house seats for freedom-friendly parties like the Libertarian Party in 2028 will begin immediately. I also think that there's a huge opportunity to immediately propose legislative reform, repeals and amendments that will make a difference. We've seen the difference that MPs like David Limbrick in the State House here in Victoria can make as an army of one. John Ruddick in New South Wales as well. Both of our MPs, unlike other minor party MPs, when they get this seat, we're not sitting there waiting for our leader to tell us what to do. We're not sitting there wondering how we should respond to a particular piece of legislation or how we should vote or what we should do. We're taking the initiative. We're engaging with the mainstream media. We're outflanking the Greens, the Liberals, the Labor Party on issues where we have a unique solution. Issues like tobacco excise, issues like free speech, issues like energy and repealing the nuclear ban. We don't need to wait for whatever plan Peter Dutton has to go to a focus group and go to a panel of experts to talk about how he's going to roll out nuclear energy. We want to repeal the ban immediately. We want to let the private sector tell us what their solutions and visions are for energy in Australia. And as importantly as all of that, as David said, and as Morgan alluded to, on day one, if I was elected to the Senate, I would be calling every other senator who was elected in that election and who was continuing to serve from 3 years on the crossbench. I wouldn't be waiting until I meet them on day one of work and, Senator daycare or whatever it is they call the senator's induction. I don't need to wait to be told what needs to happen and to start taking the initiative and start making things happen and building alliances on the crossbench, building a rebel alliance, a freedom caucus of parliamentarians who can actually take the initiative, can propose changes.
Authorised by S. Payton, Libertarian Party, Docklands, Victoria.